And that is a gift and a curse. Yeah, you gotta. The only bad thing about the internet is every fucking body got an opportunity is there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much money on the table out in the world. Like people got to go back 20, 30 years ago. It wasn't as many superstars, athletes, or entertainers as it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Or as many entrepreneurs, as it is right now with the internet.
Information is everywhere, man.
It's everywhere. So like the internet is a gift and a curse. Yeah, you got.
The whole internet flipped the moment Big Meech showed up with that calm but deadly energy, like he'd been sitting back watching everything unfold and finally decided it was time to speak. Nobody expected him to drop real commentary out of nowhere, especially after staying so quiet for so long. But when he opened his mouth this time, it wasn't just talk. It felt like he was stepping back into the room with purpose. What made it even wilder is that this was the first time he's spoken publicly since everything exploded with 50 and that whole messy situation involving Rick Ross and the BMF name. So when that clip hit social media, I sat down and really listened. And honestly, Meech wasn't just speaking, he was sending a message loud enough for half the industry to feel it. He started breaking down how people online fall apart over the smallest comments, and he wasn't lying for a second. I've seen grown adults lose their minds because a stranger typed something they didn't like, and Meech basically stepped in like, listen, everybody tripping over nonsense. It was calm, it was collected, but it carried that kind of weight that makes people shift in their seat. The way he said it, you could tell it wasn't aimed at one single person. It was aimed at everybody who's been out here acting like trolling is a profession.
The only bad thing about the internet is every fucking body got an opinion. So this is why the young people, their stomachs got to be strong. You got to be able to accept somebody saying anything about you, because any person got to. The dude can be out there in Africa in the fucking safari, and he can get on the fucking computer and give you a negative comment. These people's opinions don't count. A person on a farm somewhere, opinion don't count for real. You got 100 comments, 90 of them good, 10 of them bad, but you let them 10 bad ones get to you. See what I'm saying? That's part of being weak-minded or having a weak stomach, because you come up in this era. My era, I don't give a damn what you think. I'm pushing forward. I'm pushing forward. I'm not gonna stay stagnated or go low because of what you think about me, or you feel my hair wasn't right. Or
even the ones who built their whole persona around stirring problems, yeah, they felt that message too, even if they pretend they didn't. The delivery was smooth, but the point was sharp, and you could feel exactly who he wanted to wake up. As I watched it, I couldn't help thinking about how this ties into so many situations we've been watching unfold these past months. It's almost like Meech has been quietly collecting every piece of drama, every slick comment, every messy moment, and decided to check the whole room without raising his voice once. That's exactly why this clip hit way harder than people want to admit. You can tell Meech has been paying attention to everything happening online, because the way he broke it down felt like he'd been watching the chaos from the sidelines for a minute. And since he hasn't really sat down for a full interview since coming home, this is the first time we've seen him speak with this kind of clarity. And it threw everybody off in the best way possible. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. Not even a little. People forget that the era Meech came from wasn't built for this nonstop online chaos, and that's why watching him navigate this new digital world hits different. Back then, you could stay focused on your business without dealing with millions of phones pointed at you, waiting to twist your words into something wild. Today, every move gets screenshotted, remixed, and spread across the internet before you even blink. And someone like Meech, who built his whole reputation in a totally different kind of environment, has to adjust fast whether he likes it or not. In his time, you didn't have to acknowledge every stranger typing something bold online, and you definitely didn't have to chase down every rumor bouncing around. The streets handled things one way, and the industry handled things another way. But this new digital arena, it's loud, relentless, and people expect you to respond instantly, even when their comment is coming from a fake page with no profile picture.
I'm dressing too young. Right. Like, it's somebody else that just said my outfit look great. They can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Then you got you saying, well, he needs to touch older. Then I got a picture with Air Force Ones. They ain't up to your standard. Then I got a picture with the Louis Vuitton shoes on. Why he put them on? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. You gotta gravitate towards the.
You got to do what works for you. You can't please it. You can't spend time trying to please everybody. You can't make everybody happy. That's an impossible feat to accomplish.
That alone is wild, but it's the truth of today's world. But once you're responsible for a brand, especially one with a heavy legacy attached to your name, there comes a point where ignoring everything becomes impossible. The internet can take the smallest slip up, twist it, stretch it, and suddenly it's a circus that doesn't calm down for days. Trying to respond to everything is impossible, but letting everything fly isn't realistic either. Not when your name is tied to something as big as BMF. And that's why what Meech said really lands, because with everything that went down between him and 50, the internet didn't just talk, it exploded. Social media had that whole situation spinning like a tornado, and the criticism didn't stop at all. Even now, people still bring it up like it happened yesterday, which shows how deep that tension really goes. The fallout didn't fade away, and you can feel the weight of it even today. Nobody knows what Meech's next move is, and that mystery has everybody watching him closely. People want to know if he's stepping into business mode, entertainment mode, or something totally unexpected. And that uncertainty, it's loud, way louder than people admit. Right now, he's in that space where the world is waiting to see if he doubles down, rebuilds, pivots, or surprises everyone.
It is right now, you know what I'm saying? Or as many entrepreneurs, as it is right now with the internet.
Information is everywhere, man.
It's everywhere. So like the internet is a gift and a curse. Yeah, you gotta, the only bad thing about the internet is every fucking body got an opinion. So this is why the young people, their stomachs gotta be strong. You gotta be able to accept somebody saying anything about you. Because any person the dude can be out there in Africa in the fucking safari.
I understand the mindset he came from, because in that world, you move strategically, you stay silent until it's time, and you don't let the internet push your decisions. But once you step into the corporate lane, and especially when BMF is tied to a hit TV show and a real business partnership with 50, the pressure hits differently. You're not just representing yourself anymore, you're carrying a whole brand with history, expectations, and millions of eyes attached to it. So the real question becomes, what's the next play? This is where you find out who's built for the long run and who's stuck in their old ways. I've always believed there's a difference between a drug dealer and a hustler, and the truth is simple. A hustler can flip anything. A hustler can take a setback, a rumor, a mistake, or even a public fallout and turn it into a win. It doesn't have to involve the streets, it's about mindset, not the product. And that's why I genuinely hope Meech takes everything happening right now, all the attention, all the drama, all the curiosity, and turns it into something major. He's in a moment where the world is watching, and if he chooses to flip it into something powerful, he could shift the whole narrative in a way nobody's expecting. Meech is standing in one of the toughest moments of his life right now, and I'm saying that with full respect because I genuinely want to see him come out on top. His situation shifted fast. That public fallout between him, his son, and 50 put everything under a spotlight. The show it stars got canceled, and now the whole brand is just floating with no clear direction.
And he can get on the fucking computer and give you a negative comment. These people's opinions don't count. People, a person on a farm somewhere, opinion don't count for real. You got 100 comments, 90 of them good, 10 of them bad, but you let them 10 bad ones get to you. See what I'm saying? That's part of being weak-minded or having a weak stomach, because you come up in this era. My era, I don't give a damn what you think. I'm pushing forward. I'm pushing forward. I'm not gonna stay stagnated or go low because of what you think about me, or you feel my hair wasn't right, or I'm dressing too young. Like it's somebody else that just said my.
And let's be honest, he can't go back to the streets, not even an inch, because that lane isn't an option anymore and everybody knows it. This is the part where a real hustler shows what they're made of. This is where the next move has to be strategic, bold, and confident, because there are people out there secretly hoping he fails. And that's the wildest part. Some folks want to see him fall into old patterns just so they have something messy to talk about, and that energy is strange, but very real. What made things even more chaotic was how one simple moment, just standing next to Rick Ross, put Meech in a bad position with 50 instantly. After that picture came out, everything unraveled quicker than anyone expected. Suddenly, the tension between Ross and 50 spilled over onto Meek, and he ended up caught in the crossfire without even trying. And what really stings is remembering how Meech was supposed to have one of the biggest welcome home celebrations ever. This wasn't going to be a regular event. This was supposed to be a huge, historic moment with Rick Ross performing and other major Southern artists pulling up. The whole setup was ready to be something unforgettable, but it never saw the light of day because 50 stepped in and shut it all down like it was nothing. He pulled the plug fast, and the momentum around Meech just collapsed. 1 second, people were excited, ready to show love, ready to pull up with no hesitation, and the next second, everything changed. And it wasn't even a dramatic announcement. It was those quiet online hints, those little memes, those sly comments, that sneaky undertone that 50 is known for. It shifted the mood instantly. The internet ran with it, twisted it, recycled it, and suddenly the whole welcome home celebration turned into a messy situation instead of a positive moment.
Outfit look great. They can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Then you got you saying, oh, he needs to throw some hoes. Then I got a picture with Air Force Ones. They ain't up to your standard. Then I got a picture with the Louis Vuitton shoes on. Why he put them on? Like, come on, man.
You gotta gravitate towards the.
You gotta do what works for you. You can't please. You can't spend time trying to please everybody. You can't make everybody happy. That's an impossible feat to accomplish. You can't make everybody happy. You gotta make you happy and be concerned with the people that love you and love what you do. See what I'm saying? That's how you win. All that takes taking time out to deal with the negativity.
It went from excitement to confusion, from unity to drama, all because people started reading into those online jokes and assuming the worst. What makes this even crazier is how similar it looks to what's happening with Max B right now. People are trying to push that paperwork situation involving his brother and claiming he said something he shouldn't have, allegedly. And even though the situations share some similarities, the reactions couldn't be more different. With Meech, the shift was almost instant. One meme and the internet flipped. With Max B, there's pushback, support, people arguing both sides, and a whole different kind of energy behind it. It shows how unpredictable social media can be and how fast narratives can change depending on who's involved. Meech is in a spot where every move matters, every connection gets judged, and every rumor gets amplified. But even with all this chaos, there's still a path forward. It just depends on how he plays this moment. And right now, everyone is watching, waiting, and trying to figure out what his next step is going to be. The whole situation around Meech took a wild turn the moment he got spotted next to Rick Ross, and that single image flipped the atmosphere instantly. One photo turned into a full storm, and once people started reacting, it was like the whole industry got tossed into confusion. Now that everything calmed down and people stopped arguing online, the real question hanging in the air is simple but heavy. Who's actually stepping up to help Meech move forward? Is Rick Ross gonna invest in the next chapter? Or is Floyd Mayweather gonna be the one to help push the brand into its next lane? Because at this point, somebody with real resources needs to stand beside him, especially after all that noise came from one picture. Honestly, Ross should be involved because whether he intended it or not, he stirred up the whole situation in a major way. That moment with him and Meech standing together created tension that definitely shook up Meech's future plans. And let's not forget, Ross is the one who said he wanted to create a bigger BMF movie because he felt the TV show was bootleg and low production. That's what he said, not anyone else. So if he really feels that strongly, it only makes sense that he contribute to the next move instead of just talking about it. On the other hand, I gotta show respect to Floyd Mayweather because the talk behind the scenes is that he looked out for Big Meech and Lil Meech at one of his properties for a little while. That's what the industry whispers have been saying. Those quiet insider conversations that float around without hitting the news. Whether every detail is accurate or not, the fact that his name even comes up in that kind of support shows who's really close when things get complicated. And here's where the whole situation gets even more interesting. With all eyes on Meech right now, people's true personalities start showing fast. Anytime the spotlight gets this bright, it exposes everything. You suddenly see certain folks acting supportive in public, but when things get shaky, they fall back like they were never cheering in the first place. That's how the industry works, and it happens quietly until you start noticing the patterns. Meech has to navigate that messy energy while trying to rebuild something solid, and that's not an easy job. There's pressure from every direction, plus the weight of his name, plus all the expectations from people who don't even know him personally, but feel entitled to comment on his next move. It's a lot to carry, especially when your brand is tied to history, loyalty, and a whole culture people still talk about. People need to understand one thing clearly. Meech is no longer just a symbol from the past or a story people retell online. He's a full brand now with meaning, value, and real weight behind his name. That means every single move matters. Every handshake, every partnership, every picture, every random post on social media, it all shapes how folks judge his next chapter, whether he likes it or not. And because of that, he has to choose his next steps carefully, not out of fear, but out of strategy. The world is watching him closer than ever, and that pressure turns everything into a calculation. Anyone he stands next to could shift the conversation instantly, and anyone he distances himself from could spark new rumors just as fast. This isn't just about rebuilding, it's about securing the future in a way that honors the legacy while creating something new. And with the spotlight burning this bright, he's got no room for missteps, only moves with purpose. The judgment around Meech is getting loud and fast, and anybody watching can feel the pressure building like a storm closing in. But moments like this are where you find out what a person is really made of. Either the weight breaks you or it forges you into something sharper. And knowing Meech's history, I don't see him crumbling at all. If anything, he looks like someone quietly mapping out his next lane, studying the room, and figuring out who's real support and who was only around for the shine. After everything that hit him, the fallout, the canceled show, the rumors flying nonstop, he doesn't have the luxury of moving careless anymore. He's got to rebuild smarter, stronger, and with way more strategy than before, and trust me, people are watching every tiny move he makes like it's surveillance footage. This moment is delicate, but it's also powerful if he uses it right. Sometimes you gotta lay the business out plain and simple, because in this world, perception runs the whole game. Folks don't always care about facts. They care about whatever looks the strongest, loudest, or messiest online. And going back to what I said earlier, you can spend all day trying to clap back at every rumor, every joke, every twisted version of the story, but that's a losing battle. The internet can build you up in 1 hour and tear your whole image down the next. One headline, one meme, one post from the wrong person, and suddenly the whole room is talking like they know the full story. It can make you look like Meech holding steady through chaos, or it can make you look like Max caught in a messy moment he never meant to entertain. Two different situations, two completely different lanes, but the public reaction to each one shows you exactly how unpredictable this world is. Meech and Max both became examples without even trying. One an artist, the other tied to an intense past, and yet the response around them proves how fast narratives get twisted. The spotlight doesn't treat everybody equally, and that's the part nobody wants to admit. It shows you how quickly the internet can shift from support to suspicion depending on what's convenient for the crowd that day. And then there's Meech's response. Since everything went sideways with 50, almost nothing, that silence alone has people talking like something big is moving in the background, because the energy around it feels eerie, almost like a quiet before a major announcement. I'm not even gonna lie, the silence is spooky, but in its own way, it's powerful too, because when someone with a name like his stops talking, the whole timeline starts whispering. Still, if Meech really is the hustler people claim he is, and let's be real, that's what his legacy has always shown, then this moment isn't the end of anything. It's the setup for the comeback. A real hustler doesn't stay stuck. They adapt, adjust, and flip the situation until they land on something stronger than before. And right now, he has every reason to bounce back and zero room to fall off. At this point, his back is completely against the wall, but sometimes that's exactly where someone finds the focus they need. Everything he does from here on out is going to shape his next era, and the whole world is watching to see which direction he steps in next. Meech isn't the only one dealing with the pressure right now. His son and the whole family have been moving with the weight of this brand shift sitting on their backs. This moment isn't small. This is the season where every decision matters, every step counts, and every misstep could cost them something major. It's one of those crossroads where you either build something stronger than people expect, or everything collapses faster than anyone imagined. The pressure is real because the BMF name isn't just a story from the past anymore. It's a brand, a business, a legacy that people have been watching closely ever since the fallout hit the internet. And the way things went down between him, his son, and 50 shifted the entire atmosphere around the name. People who supported them started asking questions, others stayed quiet just to see how the situation would play out. And the whole industry basically sat back waiting for the next headline. That's why this moment is make or break for them, and there's no room for excuses. When you're carrying a name with this much history attached, folks aren't patient and they don't give you many chances. They want to see if you can pivot, rebuild, and create something new that still respects the legacy while proving you're not stuck in the past. And with the show getting canceled and the online narratives getting messy, the family knows this isn't a time to move sloppy. They're in a space where every move is watched like it's under a microscope. But here's the thing, pressure like this doesn't just crush people. Sometimes it wakes them up. Sometimes it brings out a level of focus and determination that wasn't needed before. And based on everything I've seen, Meech looks like he's stepping into that zone where he's studying the field, figuring out who's loyal, who's just hanging around for attention, and who actually wants to help him rebuild something real. This next chapter is going to reveal a lot, because when the noise settles and the spotlight stays locked on you, that's when people start showing their real intentions. That's when you see who's genuinely riding with you and who was just there for the clout of the name. And for Meech, his son, and everyone attached to the brand, this is exactly the moment where those hidden truths come to the surface. If they can navigate this moment with clarity, choosing the right partnerships, taking control of their narrative, and building something sustainable, they could flip this whole situation into a power move that nobody saw coming. But if they let the internet noise, the rumors, or the outside pressure cloud their decisions, it could hold them back in ways they can't afford right now. Either way, the world is tuned in, and folks are waiting to see what their next chapter looks like. And honestly, this moment could turn into something huge if they stay sharp. All right, if you've been locked in with me this far, do me a solid, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss the next update. Your support keeps this whole page moving, and it helps these stories reach more people who love diving into the drama and the details. I'll see you in the next one, and don't forget, the next video popping up on your screen right now is loaded with more celebrity drama you don't want to miss.